Could an independence vote be pushed through despite a court decision?
We believe the decision is incorrect in law and that it's anti-democratic.
And what does the Federalist-Separatist divide within the UCP mean for the Premier? Plus, flood season is here.
We may have less than 24 hours between when it starts raining in the catchment and when we would see flooding in Calgary.
This year's risk forecast and how the city is preparing. And the Calgary Stampede Midway food lineup has been unveiled.
We're all about diversity, introducing new flavors, and the exhibitors have a blast.
From ice cream to insects, there are some unique menu options.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Jacqueline Wilson.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. The Premier appears poised this evening to use the notwithstanding clause once again. It comes 24 hours after a judge threw out an Alberta separatist petition. Tim Brooke reports.
It's the last day of the legislative session, but the Alberta separation conversation is far from over.
We believe the decision is incorrect in law and that it's anti-democratic.
A judge's ruling that a separatist petition is invalid has the Premier up in arms. That judge pointed to a lack of consultation with First Nations. The Premier says she'll appeal, and if that doesn't work,
Section 33 allows for notwithstanding clause so that when the court makes errors in law, it can always be overridden by democratically elected legislatures.
Danielle Smith claims Indigenous consultation would have followed a yes vote. It's an argument that could be the crux of her taxpayer-funded appeal.
It will be a process argument as opposed to a substantive argument.
The Premier said last year that you can't vote away treaty rights. Legal experts agree, calling this decision the very definition of democratic as it protects the Constitution.
Lots of people disagree with the courts, but there's a line, in my opinion, that can be overstepped here that increases polarization and attacks the independence of the judiciary.
You're going to continue to appeal and attack judges, calling them liberal judges, that they're subverting democracy, and until you finally get your way. When you get a sympathetic judge, then we'll appeal.
And on the last day of session, there's still no update on the delayed Forever Canadian petition, which is stuck in a committee. A vote on whether Alberta should stay in Canada wouldn't technically require a duty to consult First Nations, as it wouldn't change the province's current situation.
We'll leave the committee work and the diligent work of the members there in their court, and they can deal with it.
The Separatists want the Premier to call her own separation vote. The PM hopes it won't come to that.
As someone who was raised in Alberta, proud Albertan, I view that very much the best place for Alberta is in Canada.
Tim Brooke, CTV News, Calgary.
Legal experts say that any sort of appeal from the province will likely take months, if not years, and it could end up in the Supreme Court. Well, there are now questions around Premier Smith's political future and whether she can bridge the gap between Federalists and Separatists in her own party. Tyson Fedor has more.
In November 2024, Premier Danielle Smith received a resounding vote of confidence from United Conservative Party members, with 92% supporting her leadership. But since then, a separation movement has created a divide in Alberta, including the mounting support for it from UCP members.
This is something that can topple leaders. This is something that can destroy parties. And this is something that Danielle Smith has been playing around with that is finally going to burn her.
Smith continues to advocate for a sovereign Alberta within a united Canada, but with a judge's decision to toss a separatist petition out the window, she has a decision to make.
A wide tent party would mean a party that includes people that may support the separatist view and people that are federalists. And, that is a challenge that political leaders will face.
Former Premier Alison Redford says Smith and her government have done a good job facilitating the process through citizen-led initiatives. But many separatist groups in Alberta are demanding she include the question of separation on the ballot in October.
Does she see her role as being to take a position on this and advance that position? Or is it to facilitate the process?
She's lumping a pro-federalist agenda with a pro-separation agenda and being very disingenuous in doing so. So Premier Smith is in real trouble.
The Premier's office deferred any comment on her political future to her remarks on Wednesday.
We have now 700,000 Albertans, whether they're on the Remain side or the Leave side, who've said that they want to have this public debate.
The reason she panders to the separatists, because if she doesn't, her party will split and she will no longer be the Premier.
For Calgarians, they are split on whether the Premier should include the question or not.
If this is a way to make the federal government understand, maybe that's the right way to go.
I think that it's not in the interest of the province, it's in the interest of a small percentage of people, and we're all Canadian.
Tyson Fedor, CTV News, Calgary.
The USP says that it does fully support Smith as leader following her high approval rating from members in those double-digit leads over the NDP in public polls, with the approval ratings not seen since Ralph Klein. And Danielle Smith and Mark Carney say they will make an announcement tomorrow in Calgary about their landmark energy deal stemming from their memorandum of understanding that was signed last fall. Neither Smith nor Carney shared details today, but a source with knowledge of the discussion has said the governments are expecting to announce a plan to raise Alberta's industrial carbon emission price to $130 per ton by 2040. The memorandum of understanding signed last year saw the two governments commit to a number of steps to eventually have a bitumen pipeline built to the West Coast. BC Premier David Eby had this to say this afternoon.
I had the opportunity to speak with the Prime Minister this afternoon about his MOU with Alberta's Premier. I am hopeful to be able to meet with him again next week to follow up. We're reviewing the details the Prime Minister has provided about what's in the MOU in terms of implications for British Columbia, the most significant of which relate to the carbon tax.
The agreement expected to be revealed tomorrow would force Ottawa to be more lenient with other provinces that follow the federal price as well, because a judge has ruled that all jurisdictions need equal treatment for the carbon pricing. Well, the Alberta government will bring in a new rate cap for auto insurance when its new system launches in 2027. Under the Care First system, insurers will pay compensation rates set by the province for injuries instead of drivers suing each other. Under the new rate cap, insurers will not be able to raise average rates by more than 5%. Also, all average drivers will see their premiums capped at a 10% increase when they renew their policies. That replaces the good driver rate cap. The province says the drivers with basic insurance coverage will save an average of $366 per vehicle. Well, public libraries in Alberta say a new bill passed by the government is unnecessary. The Coalition of Alberta Public Libraries says that Bill 28 may even force some libraries to close. The group says that libraries can't afford to build separate spaces to ensure that children don't read adult material. It says they already have policies to organize collections in age-appropriate ways. The librarians also say the UCP government never consulted them about these changes, but Bill 28 has already passed third reading in the legislature. Calgary police have released security photos of an SUV that's believed to be connected to a shooting outside of a grocery store this week. A white SUV was seen outside of the North Hill Co-op on Monday night. One man, believed to be the intended target, was killed. Another man, an innocent bystander, was injured and remains in hospital. Police say the shooting was likely linked to organized crime. The passenger side window on the SUV was partially broken and taped over. Police want to hear from anyone who recognizes the vehicle or has dash cam video as the driver took off eastbound on the Trans-Canada Highway. More than half a dozen people are left without a home after an overnight fire in the Northwest. When fire crews arrived to the home at Sherwood Crescent just after midnight, the blaze had spread from the back of the house up to the roof. Winds gusting to 40 kilometers an hour were also reported, helping to push the fire to two adjacent homes. The fire department says quick action by firefighters prevented the inferno from spreading even further, even as those winds changed directions.
It does always add an extra challenge, and that's part of our concern, that it could rapidly escalate or the fire can get a lot bigger. So we were able to keep it at a single alarm response.
This horse home was destroyed beyond repair, leaving 7 people without a home. The 2 adjacent homes were left with minor damage and the homeowners were able to return. Nobody was injured and the cause is under investigation, but fire crews are reminding people to properly dispose of smoking materials. And fire crews knocked down a house fire in the 100 block of Red Sky Crescent in the northeast this afternoon. It started actually on the outside of the home and it burned through a wall. People were trying to put out the fire with a hose when crews arrived, and one adult was transported to hospital in non-life-threatening injuries. An investigator is working to determine a cause of that. Part of Clearwater County near Sundre has been evacuated due to a rapidly spreading wildfire. RCMP have set up roadblocks in the area, and they're asking drivers to revise any travel plans to the region over the long weekend. This is the only out-of-control wildfire that's burning in our province, and it's over 1,000 hectares in size. Well, we were just talking about flooding, but maybe let's talk about precipitation. And it's going to come soon, but not in a form I'm going to like, I don't think.
And I like that you say precip, because that could mean rain, that could mean wet snow. All of that is in our long weekend forecast. It's not an ideal long weekend forecast for camping or gardening. I'll definitely throw that out there right now. Okay, just for tomorrow though, tomorrow is just a standard day. It's really nothing to talk about other than a high of 15 degrees. So yeah, it's cooler than what we got today, but around normal for this time of year. Gusts around 40 kilometers per hour. Small chance of an isolated shower in the morning, a greater chance later in the day of seeing either an isolated shower or even a non-severe thunderstorm. All right, that messy long weekend forecast is just ahead.
Okay, thanks, Danielle. Well, it is Moose Hide Campaign Day across Canada. We'll tell you about the initiative and how it was marked in our city today. Next.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
It is that time of year when Calgary rivers are most likely to swell and spill over, and right now the flood risk is considered normal, but the city says it is more prepared than ever should something happen. Alicia Fieldberg reports.
As Calgary enters flood season, a barrier along Memorial Drive is ready, and so are city staff as they check water levels and forecasts around the clock.
We have weather forecasts that come out every 6 hours. We may have less than 24 hours between when it starts raining in the catchment and when we would see flooding in Calgary.
Calgary's highest risk of flooding is between May 15th and July 15th, when both rain and melting snow from the mountains raise water levels. Should that happen, this barrier can protect the communities of Sunnyside and Hillhurst. It's a nearly 2.5 kilometer long wall with the tallest sections over 3 meters. The steel and concrete barrier includes adjustable sections to close gaps across roads and paths.
It'll be a matter of hours. About 3 to 6 is our estimate. Sunnyside's a low-lying area, and so there was a need for a barrier to prevent the river from breaching as it did in 2013.
In June 2013, heavy rain combined with a late snowpack melt caused the Bow and Elbow to overflow, displacing more than 100,000 people and causing an estimated $5 billion in damage in Calgary and southern Alberta. Experts say above-average snowfall in the mountains this winter is not a significant cause of flood concern.
Snowpack by itself generally only contributes about 15 to 20% of large flood peaks. It really is widespread rainfall that tends to drive river flooding.
But should flooding occur, the city says it's never been more ready, thanks to $1.3 billion of upgrades since the last flood.
And that has removed about 71% of the damage profile that we saw back in 2013.
Along with flood protection, upgrades to the pathway system aim to make the space better for everyone to enjoy. Alicia Fieldberg, CTV News, Calgary.
It is Moose Hide Campaign Day across Canada. It's a day to stand against gender-based and domestic violence. The Indigenous-led initiative was marked with a walk in Calgary, starting at the confluence. The campaign is targeted toward boys and men to become involved in the conversation, to stand up and speak out against violence. Organizers say that half of all women in Canada have experienced physical or sexual violence since the age of 16, and spousal violence against Indigenous women is 3 times higher compared to non-Indigenous women.
Violence hides in the dark, so the more light you shed on it, the more awareness that we have around the violence. And when we have more men and boys standing up and speaking out and calling each other out on violence, the less it's likely to continue.
This was the third annual walk in Calgary. For more information, it can be found on moosehidecampaign.ca. Well, Siksika Health Services is bringing several services under one roof as part of its annual health fair. More than 60 booths were set up at the Deerfoot Sportsplex today. The First Nation holds the event as a way to bring together community members, health teams, and local artists for a full day of connection and wellness. This is the 23rd annual event, and organizers say it expands from just 6 booths in previous years. A new online survey released to mark World Vaccine Day suggests that nearly a quarter of Canadians have declined to get a vaccine recommended by their doctors. The data from Proof Strategies shows that most people decline the vaccines over concerns about potential side effects. Albertans were the most likely to refuse a recommended vaccine at 35%. People with a high school education or less were more likely to decline a vaccine than those with a university level education. All right, stay with us. There might be snow in the long weekend forecast. Danielle Smith will be back with the details next.
All right, well, today was really where we should be for this time of year, other than the winds. We'll talk about the winds in just a second, but temperatures are around normal. We got to a high of 19 in Calgary, 22 in Brooks, 21 in Drumheller. That's a little above normal. 19 was the high in Medicine Hat, 18 in Lethbridge. When we look at maximum gusts today, as we talked about, it's been absolutely excessive and there have been wind warnings in place. 91 was the max in Lethbridge, mid 80s for Medicine Hat, at Pincher Creek, lower 80s, in the 70s for Brooks, and basically at the 70 mark for Calgary up through the Drumheller area. Look at Red Deer, 94 kilometers per hour. So everywhere is windy. The winds have started to calm down, so things are getting a lot calmer. It's still going to be windy tonight and tomorrow, but we're looking at 40 to 50 kilometer per hour gusts, so not as excessive as what we had today. All right, so this is the big statement to talk about. This is a weather statement in place. This is Calgary, yes, is included in this, basically up to almost Innisfail, down Highway 2, over to Pincher Creek and Crow's Nest Pass, and up through Banff, Canmore, and towards Jasper. So the reason this statement is in place is because some wet snow, a lot of it is possible in some localized areas. I'm going to show you where is the best chance of seeing the most amount of snow. This first, though, is system number 1, and you can see that counterclockwise spin. This is very organized. It's quite a system. On the outside edge of this, it's been creating those strong wind gusts for us. And it's also on the outside edge of this, because of the winds, this air has been forced to rise, and that creates that convective activity, those pop-up showers, thunderstorm activity. We saw that down the Trans-Canada. That's going to develop again tomorrow because the system is still just off to the east of us, and it's quite a system. So tomorrow we may even see a little bit of this in the morning hours, smaller chance in the morning, greater chance of those pop-up showers and non-severe thunderstorms in all of southern Alberta for tomorrow afternoon and through the supper hours. All right, let's talk about that second system, because this is the big one that's going to create quite a game changer for us, because temperatures are going to plummet and wet snows in the forecast. Calgary, all down Highway 2, this is really that dividing line and the edge of where we're looking at that wet snow mix. To the east, it should be mainly rainfall, but far to the west is where we're looking at picking up the heaviest amount. Look how consistent it's going to be to the west of Calgary. High elevations in the mountains will see up to 20, even 30 centimeters of snow. And it might even peak, this snow, a couple centimeters, might even peak into the Okotoks High River area. And again, more off to the east, we're looking at more rainfall. For Calgary, it looks like we're going to be mainly rain with some wet snow mixed into it. And I'll give you a timeline on that in just a second. Throughout the weekend, though, you can see Calgary and down QE2 and Highway 2, it'll be less consistent and more just on and off moisture here and there, but it will be very consistent to the west and down the mountains. And that's why the statement is in place for all of those areas. This is, the models again are all over the place, so this is a bit on the high end, but we are looking at higher elevations. So Banff townside, 5 centimeters of snow expected, Canmore as well, but higher elevations, yes, 20 to 30 centimeters is certainly possible. A couple centimeters for Okotoks, High River, certainly possible as well. And Calgary, mainly rain with wet snow mixed in. So tomorrow's just that normal day with some chance of some isolated pop-up shower thunderstorm activity. Our best chance of getting any wet snow in the city or just around the city is Saturday morning and then back again later on Saturday and through Sunday morning. Other than that, it will be isolated rainfall here and there. Just highs of 5 for Saturday and Sunday, overnight lows at the freezing mark. So if you're camping, pack all the parkas.
All the parkas and the fleece. Okay, thanks, Danielle. Well, the Fairy Tales Queer Art and Film Festival is returning to Calgary this week, bringing stories of identity, resilience, and community from around the world to the big screen. The 20th annual event is taking over contemporary Calgary through Sunday. It's featuring more than 40 films from 20 countries, including documentaries, shorts, and feature-length productions. It's one of Canada's longest-running queer film festivals, creating space for some audience members to see their experiences reflected on screen.
And we hear from them, I never thought that I would see myself on screen in a way that's celebrated. And I've heard it's the first time I didn't feel shame in a public space hearing my story, which, like, you can't put a price tag on that. It's amazing.
Organizers say the festival also hopes to create connections and spark some important conversations amid political tensions over gender identity in Alberta. Well, I hope you're hungry. There will be more than 60 new food creations at the Stampede Midway this year. We'll share some of the highlights after the break. Welcome back. We are less than 2 months away from the Calgary Stampede, and if the food is what draws you to the Midway, well, then this story is for you. More than 60 new creations will come to Calgary alongside your favorite staples. Jordan Canigan digs in.
Well, the Calgary Stampede isn't just concerts and cowboy hats. For many people, food is their favorite. And the new Midway food selections for 2026 have everything from sweet to salty to crunchy and somewhat quirky.
So we have the Crunchy Crispy Corn a Cup, which is a twist on Mexican street corn, which the exhibitor has added in crunchy dried mealworms.
Alongside mini donuts and corn dogs, exhibitors are always looking for a twist. How about a giant salmon sushi or coconut crusted fried chicken? Maybe a pizza slice deep fried in corn dog batter.
Who doesn't love a deep fried food, and who doesn't love a cheese slice? So it was really just a matter of figuring out how to come up with a original deep fried version of a classic cheese slice that was worthy of the Calgary Stampede.
To wash it all down, maybe a drink.
So it is a Sprite base, and it has dragon fruit and chipotle pineapple with tahini on top. If you like a little spice, you can do the tahini. If you don't, you can do it without.
Excellent. All right, let me give it a try. That's fantastic. That's really tasty. Several creations feature trending flavors such as matcha or Dubai chocolate.
It's so important to have the variation that you see here because there's not one dish that's going to satisfy everybody. We're all about diversity, introducing new flavors, and the exhibitors have a blast. They really take it away, work all year to come up with these creative twists, bold flavor combinations, and classic Stampede fun.
Jordan Canigan, CTV News, Calgary.
The Stampede runs from July 3rd until the 12th. All right, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful night.